Live from a studio bunker somewhere. Myself, Dr. Fox, we're in separate locations, believe it or not,
Got
but
the
we're
same
connected
shirts though.
by the
Look at that.
shirt. We're connected
Great.
by the brand.
But you don't have this
Um,
yet. You don't have this.
no, I don't have that. I don't have
Yeah.
anything, just the shirt, man.
And we gotta fix
Uh,
that.
yeah, we gotta fix that. And then Brad's got the SOS merch creative on lockdown, but he's like it's in a vault in his brain somewhere. He only shares a little bit with us, but we're looking forward to Save Our Sites conference in February. Dr. Fox, people are still asking me like, "Hey, where can I find more info about your
Mhm.
conference?" So, as much promotion as we think we're doing, and some people are saying you're doing too much, apparently not, because people are still asking me almost on a weekly basis, like, "How do I find more info, whether it's sponsors or attendees?" So it's underneath right there,
Mhm.
saveoursites.com. We're at almost 300 guests with about more than 2 months left to go to sell tickets. End of this year, we have to stop selling tickets.
Mhm.
So that's it. Like, get your tickets now. If you want them January 1st, I don't know how you're gonna get there. It's gonna have to be like old school, like pay to play type of thing. Maybe find someone who can't go and buy it off of them. I feel like the resale market's gonna be hot for this one.
Ticket scalping, huh?
Ticket scalping. Yeah, man.
SOS
Yeah.
ticket. I think it's gonna be the airplane you have to worry about more than the
Yes.
SOS ticket. I think
Yes.
your airplane hotel. Again, reminder: this is the Global Gem and Rock Show
Mm.
season in Tucson. Odds are, if you wait till January, you probably won't find a hotel. I mean, my family's coming with me, so I'd offer to have a roommate, but I don't think you'd want that.
Mhm.
So,
Well, you can if you're comfortable with it, but that could be the makings of a good documentary too
mhm.
on Netflix. If you want to be comfortable, find your own place. One of these days we'll get that's the new side hustle. Angel
SOS.
says, "Yes." So the new side hustle sostix.com, that's been up long enough.
I like what Lee said. Look what Lee said. Yeah,
Lee said
sorry,
Fox
Lee.
is using AI to develop a script. No, that's someone else we all know that's using ChatGPT to develop a script.
So I have some
Uh,
news, Dan. In 15 minutes, I'm
yeah.
talking to another sponsor about joining SOS, and I think this one's going to join. I'm really excited about this one. So admittedly, I've only got 15 minutes, but I think that there's a lot of things that we could talk about for a recap before then.
So yeah, let's get right into it because that was the idea for this is the conference season recap and what you liked about conferences, what you didn't like, what we can do. We still have time to make ours however we want.
Hmm.
So
Then
which
whatever.
ones did you go to? Let's go like one by one.
Well, it's interesting. So a couple things happened. Number one is I went to my token SCRS. SCRS is where I started. This is my fifth time doing SCRS, and I mean they did just keep raising the bar on what they do. It is very very produced, and I mean like they're entertainers, man. Loud music, parties, like it's like a you go to the vendor booths, it's like a carnival, all these games you play, basketball, baseball, it's fun. SCRS is fun. And I walked out, so I started as CRS, I was about 71 sites in CRPN, and I'm at 83 now. So I
From
joined
just from SCRS.
just from SCRS. Get that business card out there. People go to SCRS looking to grow business.
So if
So
you are selling or have a service for site, because you're not selling, right? You have a service for sites. But if
mhm.
you are selling or have a service for sites, SCRS is so far the best place to go.
It is SCRS is like it's created its own ecosystem.
Now we're
I
trying
mean,
to change that by making ours the best place to go for that kind of stuff,
so
but
I
we're
think what's going to
haven't
happen
done
is
anything yet. So
I think we're going to be those CRCs that I call the participant facing, the front lines. We're going to be like the front lines right there, straight up CRCs. If you're a CRC and a phlebotomist and you're there to see the patient all the time, I don't know how much business you're going to grow at SCRS. It's like the BD business. You've got your directors, your executives, maybe a senior coordinator here and there, but you're not going to have as much of a like a frontline voice as I think you're going to have at
we're for
SOS.
the people. We're a
Yeah,
conference for the people.
yeah.
Okay. So SCRS, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's go, Fox.
All right, the good, definitely business development, fun. You can make a lot of decisions with alcohol, and you can have all kinds of like awesome conversations. You grow your business, you get some
Did you drink?
ideas.
Did you drink?
No, I
You don't
don't.
drink,
Just
right?
so you know, like my wife's father was an alcoholic,
Mhm, mm.
and that was actually part of my wedding vows. I will not drink,
Okay.
so I
But
don't drink.
so but as somebody who stays sober, can you notice a change in people as they drink and like what they open up more or like
Oh
they
yeah.
reveal more about like what they actually want or what?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the decisions when you go to an SCRS is about day 2, once you've kinda bonded with people over a drink. Doesn't have to
Nice.
be
So what do
alcoholic.
you drink? You just drink sparkling water or something?
I'll do like tea,
Okay.
soda here and there, water.
So Fox is staying sharper while you're getting sloppy. All right, so that's the good. What about the bad? Like from
Uh,
SCRS?
so sometimes it can seem repetitive. Like if you go to one breakout session at SCRS, it can sound very similar to one you've heard a couple years ago. It seems like they're saying the same thing a lot. uh, which is it's kind of it gets challenging if you've been to a lot of them. If, a lot of people say this is my first SCRS, and they'll walk away with a lot of ideas. They'll walk away with a lot of productivity. Once you've done it a couple times, it's like okay, this sounds very familiar. It doesn't seem like anything has changed. That's where by breakout session 3 or 4, it gets kind of repetitive.
Okay, and then the ugly.
Hmm. So for me, the ugly is the awards.
Whoa.
Uh, so honestly, the most of the time when people get awards, specifically CROs, from my personal experience in the field, I don't see them earning it. Maybe I'm not at the right site, and therefore I didn't have the experience that would qualify voting for them.
I see.
So that for me is kind of like the cringe moment is when there are certain companies that get awards that I know for a fact because I see it across dozens of sites. It's not very well deserved.
Do they have a coordinator of the year award?
See, that's the thing is they started like diversity awards and things like that for sites, but they don't have, and they have the Christine Pierre Award for an outstanding site advocate industry person, but no, they don't have like frontlines awards.
Okay. Um, I heard someone else in regards another commenter in the previous stream say that the votes are not pay to play or pay to win. It might be pay to get on the ballot, but um, the members vote anonymously on
Hmm.
that stuff. But how would the members know every site, every CRO? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Someone
so
else
I
is saying it too.
yeah,
Uh,
Gregory. Hey, Gregory, how are you?
I've never been
So
to SSS. Well,
yeah,
SSS is nothing, but SOS is ours. SCRS is the
mhm,
others.
yep. The awards, it's award season. They send out a survey to their site members and say, please vote. And they're getting more stratified. They've got some interesting levels for their awards. They're getting a little more expanded on what it is, but there's still a little bit of a like I don't know how like site or how companies get on the ballot. I don't know how they're nominated. I'm not sure about how that works.
Okay. Let's go to the next conference. So far it seems like SCRS is worth going to.
Oh yeah, yeah. So SCRS definitely. If you want to build your business, get some
Oh,
business
price
cards.
price wise, what's the price?
Well, I mean, what, 2 grand if you're not a member to
Hmm.
buy a ticket and get in.
Two
Uh,
grand if you're not a member, as opposed to our highest price right now for
at
SOS
250. Yeah.
at 250.
Yep.
So
Don't forget the
10x
flight. So you get a flight, maybe 600-700 bucks if you're lucky, depending on where you have to go, and then the hotel, which is another maybe 2,000, maybe
because it's a
15.
resort.
Yeah, it's a
It's a resort.
resort. It's. I mean, it's high end. It's a
And
resort.
what if
It's
you are a
Florida.
member? How much is it?
I think it's like half, like
Okay.
what 995 or something like that. So
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
but still, I mean, you're throwing a few grand away to get there. But if you can build up $10,000 in opportunity.
You're right, Jeffrey. I don't go, so I
Yep.
have no idea. But yeah,
Yep,
that's
Jeff, that was the
possibly
Hollywood,
right.
Florida one.
You're
Just
right. You're right.
happened.
You're right. Okay. The next conference you went to.
So This was an interesting one, and this is where it's pretty cool. But Brad recommended that I go. It's invitation only, recommendation only. Brad, through Sean Blackburn, heard about Y Prime's Innovation Network, The Gathering. Very tailored, very produced. Literally, they're dedicated to trying to make this like a TED Talk. Like every single person that presented, it was very well rehearsed. And Brad, I don't know if you saw the picture. Brad, he brought in all these e-pros from
I
the
didn't see
site.
it. No.
So he brought in all these e-pros from the site and started stacking them up, making it look like a mountain of e-pros. And you're talking to Y Prime, the people who make all of these things, trying to show the tech stack literally that sites have to go through. That was just one production. There were some brilliant performances, and I call them performances because they were very well rehearsed. TED Talk like
Guarantee you Brad's bag, whether check-in or carry-on, was checked by
it was
somebody.
shipped. He shipped it
Oh,
via
he
FedEx.
shipped it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
so he shipped them,
Smart move.
but only 100 people were allowed, and they created what they called
Wow.
dive sessions. So they put all these different people you've never met before in these dive sessions, and they gave you a problem. And they said, you've got 3 sessions and about 3 hours to create a solution for that. And the winner is going to get support to grow that idea. So
Wow.
not only are they exploring these possible solutions as deep dives, as problems, but part of the whole experience was to literally come up with a solution to the problem as a comprehensive cohort of people in the industry. Brilliant, brilliant execution. I mean, as far as conference planning and coordination goes, I've never been to something better. And
Wow.
I walked away because it was so efficient in their talking. I walked away feeling like I wanted to make changes in how I do things to improve.
So Y Prime, that was the first ever Y Prime, or
Second,
were
this is the
second?
second one. Yeah.
So the way you guys built it up, I gotta go. I gotta go to this
I mean, we
one.
got to get you in next year. We'll talk to Sean. We want to get other people in. But that one was Laura Hilty and her team there. That's just
Okay.
really, really, really good. Michelle
So that was
Jones.
the good. What is there any bad with this one or ugly?
I think it's still kind of in prototype mode. It's so novel. They've got some things to work out,
Okay.
but they have the mechanisms in place to improve it. Just work on improving it as they go.
Okay. And then what about the other one? You've been busy, man. What about the other conference?
So one thing I can say about Y Prime is my dive session won the award.
And you didn't have to pay to win this, right?
Mm-mm.
Just the
Nope.
full disclosure.
So the award was actually voted on by everyone in the area. Those 100 people. We listened to each other, listened to our ideas, and my group was one of the winning groups.
I feel like we have to have an entire live stream just on your idea for that.
Yeah, it's really cool. It was a neat idea, and I
Let's
couldn't
just
have
do
done it
that.
without
Let's
that
do
team.
that like a
We'll
whole
do that
like just
another time.
focus the entire event session on that.
So as
'Cause
far as
there's a
other
lot to cover.
conferences go,
Yeah.
and here's the other advantage, SCRS and this, because of what happened here, I've got a very special CRPN Central podcast that I'm planning. We're going to release that in the next week. You're going to like that one.
Okay.
I was asked to speak at Magi, so I spoke at Magi at home. That was
Oh,
Friday.
so you didn't travel to Magi, but you spoke remotely.
So the Magi thing was interesting. It was set for San Francisco, and not many people wanted to go to San Francisco. So they said, okay, we're gonna make this.
Why?
Uh, but there's some reasons, but I didn't get all of them. I
Yeah.
think that there wasn't a lot of demand to go to
Yeah.
San Francisco right now. But you want to talk about a pivot? This was completely virtual. They just changed on a dime, and I don't know if you saw the speakerships, but it was very, very well produced for what they did with the Magi at home. So I
Respect.
got to speak
I mean,
with
we're
that.
taking notes at SOS for future events to be virtual, and
Hmm.
maybe we can have like one conference a year in person, one virtual. We're playing around with ideas.
Yeah,
We're
yeah, we've
learning
got.
from all these other conferences, so the good, the bad, the ugly.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
Magi you spoke at. What was the other one you went to?
I only went to two. I was
Oh,
going to
okay,
go to
okay.
another one in November, but admittedly, it's my birthday. I don't want to travel on my birthday, so
Right,
I just
right.
canceled it.
And then Brad went to one that You didn't go to. He went
Brad went to
to.
Socra and Fierce,
Do you know
and
anything about those? I know
so
Soker's like CRAs, but
yeah, so we actually did a little live event on that. We talked about it, but
okay.
from what it sounded like, Socra was very informative. If you're like a coordinator and like you were new to the industry and you're trying to learn things, very academic, poster session, dry, but also if you've been to a few Socras, it gets somewhat repetitive because it's more of like the
Mm.
proving grounds for CRCs to try to get come together like that.
Wait, is it for
So
CRCs to try to be CRAs, or what is Soker? Because
no,
Soker's
it's more
about.
like it's a poster session kind of a conference where very academic, very structured.
What does Society of Clinical Research Associates, no?
Mhm. Yeah,
What are they
Socra
getting
is
academic about, SDVs?
well, so that's what he was saying. He used the term dry, not dry in a
Oh,
bad way, but dry just repetitive, structured, helpful for new people in the industry. And then
I see.
he also went to Fierce, and it sounds like Fierce had kind of that close, intimate feeling as well. There was some business development about it, but he had some really candid conversation with sponsors and CROs.
I see. So Fierce, like Fierce CRO, Fierce Biotech, Fierce Pharma, those one I used to read those a lot too.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
that would be one I
Yep.
might be interested in. It sounds somewhat like it could be incestuous at this point.
Mhm.
Pay to write a good article on you, kind of thing. I don't know the details on the leadership, but Brad, Brad would be good to get on. So Brad's been traveling like crazy, man.
He's been hitting the roads. He's got a
Next
lot
year,
going
I'm gonna
on.
go to SOS for sure because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's ours. I better go there, and then ACRP because it's gonna be in
Yep.
Anaheim, which is my hometown. There, Angels. So that's my
Mhm.
hood. That's like my. I mean, it used to be my home. Now it's my home away from home. I have to go because it's there. It's easy for me to get to. A lot of the like when I decide what a conference I'm gonna go to, I decide on a number of factors. Price is number one. What I'm currently doing during that week is number 2, so opportunity cost, right? And then other like travel, lodging, and finally what I can actually get out of it. Like, thank you for telling me that about Soker because I would never go to a Soker if
It
that's
was I mean, Brad really liked it, and I didn't get a
Brad
chance
liked
to.
it.
Dan, I'm gonna have to get off. I have an SOS
Fox.
sponsor waiting for me.
Oh, Fox got SOS sponsor. Get going, man. Thank you for that. We're still taking on sponsors, and I'll take over from here, Fox.
Yeah, and
Uh,
get Chris on here, or we'll talk soon. But wish me
okay.
luck. Everyone wish me luck. I'm really
Good
excited
luck,
about this
man. Keep me
sponsor.
posted how it goes, and I'll go through SOS, and maybe I'll call you a little bit later today to catch up on SOS
Yeah.
stuff because there's
Yeah.
some stuff I have to do. But still,
Alright. I'll see everyone soon.
take it easy, Dr. Fox. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so I didn't go to any conferences, guys, so I don't have any info for you on conferences. But we can go questions for a little bit if you want. Jeffrey says traditionally Soker was geared to site positions that supported CRCs, a lot of regulatory education, but it's been years since I attended. I think that's where the associates part of the name came from. Ah, so it's yeah, it's the naming that's confusing too, because I always just assumed SOCRA was for CRAs because it's Society of Clinical Research Associates. And I've always, if I had to pick one of the two, like people always ask me, well, what should you get, SOCRA or ACRP certified? I said, well, it doesn't really matter. But if you're going to pick one, pick ACRP because more people have it. It seems like it's a little more clear as far as what they're certifying you on. Like ACRP, you could be a CCRC, which is a Certified Clinical Research Coordinator, CCRA, CC Project Manager, I think they have, or Professional, I think was one of them that I was looking into getting at one point, and then I realized, nah, I don't really need to do it. But if you're like gonna be a like an employee in this space, if this is your career, it doesn't hurt to get certified, right? They are the industry leader. I am looking forward to going to potentially going to ACRP next year. So good luck, Dr. Fox. Anyone else have questions? Let me know. We apologize for the lag. If you're on YouTube and you want to catch the replay without the lag, I will edit it, take out that 5 minutes of the black screen where my Wi-Fi was cutting out, and I'll re-upload fresh to YouTube so you can watch clean. Look, we're looking forward to SOS. I kind of wanted to create a conference that I would actually want to attend personally. Like they say, if you're going to build a business, make one for you. And I always thought, well, why don't we make a conference for sites that's not political? Like we just talk like real stuff, like things that people are afraid to talk about in a public setting. How do we distill those one-on-one conversations we all have with other sites into an event like this where it's okay to have these conversations? And look, admittedly, it's going to be the first one, and we'll have a lot of improvements for the next ones, and we'll probably feature virtual things. And thank you, Alicia, for coming. Please, please, yes, hoping to attend my first conference, which will be SOS. Thank you so much for that trust in us. Uh, it might as well be my first conference as well, because I haven't been. The last conference I went to was, I believe, DIA, Drug Industry Associates, or Drug Information Association. I forgot which one it is. I used to go to DIA and Bio because I was trying to pitch to sponsors for a number of things like CRO stuff. And those are huge. Those are like 15,000 people. Those are very large conferences, not really catered to sites. They're catered more to the industry, specifically pharma. And then I went to some therapeutic area like DDW for gastroenterology, ASCO for oncology. So I used to go to those kind of things, like therapeutic area focused. I've never been to an SCRS. I don't think I've ever been to an ACRP either. I've never been to a Magi. I have been to a Scope because of one of my sponsors um, that basically paid me to go. So yeah, I pick and choose. Like I'm very careful about my time, really. It wasn't even about the money, it's about the time. And I just felt like there was never a conference I would actually want to go. So that's why I got Brad and Fox and the Latinos in Clinical Research group together and said, "Hey, let's do this. Let's pull this off. We're all site owners. Let's build something we want and we can grow into something bigger." And it looks like we are growing into site-centric tech vendors too, which most of our sponsors so far, maybe all of them, are site-centric tech vendors. So, yeah, let's go. I'm going to talk to my PI about coming to this. So, Daph, please, yes, this we want you. How soon after getting into the field do you need to get one of those certifications? Never. I don't have one. Chris Sauber doesn't have one. Monica Quitiva doesn't have one. Ashley Margot doesn't have one. These are all people like we feature a lot on these shows. By the time you can qualify for the ACRP exam, you don't need it anymore because everybody looks at your experience. Like employers look at your experience. Do you get paid more? I don't know. That's debatable. Maybe they should do a study on that. I'm sure ACRP would find a favorable study that they can share, but maybe they have done one already. It doesn't hurt, but you don't need one. And your words, you said, do you need? Never. Okay, but it's 2 years of experience before you can qualify to sit for one of those tests. So that's the answer for you there. Angel, I think something you said was key. Oftentimes, conferences solicit feedback, but then don't action in and make the same presentation over and over again, regardless of getting the same feedback. Yeah, no, I agree. And we're taking the feedback now from other conferences because we have no feedback from our own yet. We have suggestions, but who was it that said if you cater to everyone, you cater to no one? So we know what we want to make as site owners. We know. But we are taking feedback from other conferences to see what we like, what we don't like, and how to make ours as good as we possibly can for this first time around, and then just continue to improve it. Because God willing, I mean, we're not going anywhere. Kay and Michelle, thank you. The book very helpful. 5-hour video on YouTube. I appreciate it so much, and amazing avatar you have there uh, on YouTube for those of you watching. So I think that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I will re-upload on YouTube without the 6-minute glitch, dark screen with Angel's comment on there. Maybe you can get the scalping going for the SOS because look, guys, saveoursites.com. At the end of this year, we can't sell anymore. Like that's it. So we're at about 300 tickets sold. If you still want to go, now's your chance to get your tickets. Saveoursites.com. Stay tuned for more. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Bye bye.